Uh-oh. For some reason, do you guys get a thing on your stream that says
Oh, lost connection to back end.
The Temple of Orn is one of the most sacred places that exists. We lost somebody. We have lost somebody. Did I fucking delete the whole story by accident?
Kanan?
So,
I'm thinking that just the
okay,
ends need switch.
give me a second. I need to fix this. I can't fucking navigate this puzzle if I can't see my mouse. This is Dice Goblins D&D. Welcome to the table. Where we last left off, the party had finally left the Church of Tarnazet after meeting with Arataka, the dragonborn chieftain that they had been looking for on this mountain. He warned them of the slaughter that was the Yuan-Ti village. Slowly making their way up the mountain, the party encountered a village full of the corruption, but with the aid of the spirit flames to keep the corruption at bay, they managed to not only navigate their ways to an advantageous position, but managed to fight off the Yuan-Ti horde that were corrupted and milling about. We got to witness everyone in their coordination and their power between the assassin movements of Canaan, the strategy of Ecclesia, the power of Marcius, the maneuverability of Ovar, the durability of Kiral, and the true compassion and raw draconic fury that is Arataka. With all those forces combined, along with the Earth Genasi Terra, they managed to stem the tide and win the day. Not only that, two of our party members showed the power of connecting to an Aeon, awakening to powers untold, unleashing fire and light in a devastating combo to defeat the boss of this area, a corrupted Yuan-Ti named Anolo. And we're going to resume exactly where that left off. We're going to transition over to Tailspire. See you there. Welcome to Tailspire. As the combat ends, standing next to where the burning crater is, laying at the bottom of it all, is Ovar. You feel like you are on fire. The rock around you is quite literally turning into lava. Kiral, where you manifested those draconic wings, all that power surging through you, just like Ovar, who has returned to himself and is now in roiling pain at the bottom of a crater, you feel the pure acid, as if you had worked for multiple days straight, course through your veins as the draconic wings fade back into light, and all that power that flooded through your body leaves you feeling hollow and empty, almost on the door of death. As everybody manages to gather. And we'll start there.
Who did you say we're starting with?
It's you and Ovar in a crater and everybody gathering around it, because you were right next to Ovar when he crashed down.
Right.
But that metal suit ain't feeling so good right now.
Okay. Does Ovar seem responsive? Like, is he conscious?
Ovar, you feel like you've plowed 8,000 fields.
Workhorse.
So, how does Ovar feel laying in a crater?
Ovar, after taking a couple moments to regain composure, he goes, "That was the coolest thing ever.
Stubble is there going, you guys had some badass moves. What happened to you? You changed. That was
Yes,
so cool.
this is the first time any of you have used your token awakenings.
That was cool too. Oh man.
What
Do
a
they know that was token awakenings?
they felt the power come from their token, but it's up to them how they would interpret that. Notably, where both of your tokens sunk into your bodies, they are back where they were before as objects, but they don't have the same power they seem to have been charged with.
Stubble was just jumping up and down. How'd you guys do that? She's yelling at Ovar and Kirov. I
I'm
wonder where
assuming at this point, Ovar and Kirill are just looking at each other confused, neither knowing they could do that.
okay, I'll just step back.
Arataka decides to take the initiative and steps into the crater, sliding down to where you both are. Can you stand? Are you all right? Displays of
little
power
tired.
like that are not exactly easy to come by. Do you need assistance leaving this crater? As she's looking at you both.
I should be okay.
Arataka looks to Kirill.
Little shaky, but able
You
to
said
stand.
okay. You said okay. You're going to be climbing your way out of here.
Yep.
Ovar, you should probably throw some armor up here. It might be easier for you.
Arataka takes one look at Kirill, rocking a solid fucking like 2 HP with multiple levels of exhaustion in a fucking crater. Holds their hand out to you and says, consent.
Sure.
You are lifted onto this woman's shoulders and flown out of the crater as they never demanifested their wings. You need to rest. Power like that does not come without a cost. And with the amount of corruption that you came in contact with, you need to make camp and sit under the flame until you feel it leave your body. It hasn't settled in yet, but it will if you don't take it easy. This was not them asking, Kirill. Is there a response?
Yeah. Just that's it. Just a defeated yeah.
They cast Create Bonfire. and finally sets you down next to it and says, you seem like the type that doesn't like watching others work. Get over it. Rest is a form of work into itself, and just as necessary to the overall goals. As you receive a Dragonborn chief's fucking advice as she walks off. And a spirit flame begins to hover around you.
That ain't fair. Why are you giving me like actual advice here?
It is my duty to care for those who are on the mountain. You are on the mountain. You are my responsibility.
To be fair, that last thing out of me was more so Callie saying, "Don't at me." I also
What is
struggle
D&D but calling out your friend's issues?
Yeah.
Ovar, I'm not gonna punish you with a deck save with 2 levels of exhaustion.
Does it say
Although
worst
it is
case
a
scenario?
struggle.
Although I was gonna say worst case scenario, I'll just toss my ring out of the crater, teleport into it, and then teleport out of it.
Horse case scenario.
Horse.
I have no regrets about saying that. But Ovar lands out also looking none the wiser as Arataka approaches somebody else who ate absolute shit during that combat. And despite being only slightly larger than Terra, also throws them over their shoulder. Sit. Do not move.
There's Terra?
Terra is at less than 10 HP. They got crit twice and then tried to 1v1 the boss.
You know, that's fair.
Heal and healing potions not going to help.
This is me
We're
signifying a long rest is coming. Don't use your
I was
resources.
like, we're gonna long rest. There's no
But
reason to.
we're not going to long rest at this exact moment. Just those two and someone else who came in contact with the corruption. These are the three that came directly in contact with the corruption, as they are being forced to rest now with spirit flames around.
Yeah.
But it would be best to find what supplies we can around this village. I have given word to Issa to be the signal between myself and Rena. Once Issa arrives to check the Yanti village and sees us, they can let Rena know to drop the ice wall. So we have time to deal with this travesty. And as Arataka says that, where the fuck is Marcius? She looks at Marcius while standing next to the corpse of a dragon that you recognize. Where's my notes? Fuck, I didn't write it in my notes. I wrote it in DMs.
Is this
I named
Bella?
every one of these dragons. Yes, you are looking at Issa's sister dragon, Bella, which is dead, full of arrows and slash marks. Notably, you can move Marcius wherever they are. I forgot I don't have to move you. So many of my children simply lost to the mountain.
Should we help bury them?
That is not the ritual that we perform.
Okay.
You all watch those that have not gone to the. Although those in the camp have vision of this, as Arataka holds their hand out, and this drake
Look up.
begins to shine with blue light, and is turned into a small statue. Arataka then walks past everyone and approaches Uthrad Takar and says, "Our fallen impart their knowledge, their skills, their fury to the generations of the future. Honor your fallen sisters and brothers, and do not forget their sacrifice." As the statue converts to light and you all see it disappear into Uthrad Takar, who doesn't say a word. This is something Marcius would recognize as the ceremony of the fallen, which is performed by Arataka to other drakes. And Uthrad Takar gains the memories of their sibling.
Yeah, in all
I
this,
know you.
Marcius is just standing there just as speechless as the Uthrod is because Marcius hasn't got to soak it in yet.
Around you, there's bodies of Dragonborn. While everyone was focused on the battle, horrific things happened here. we should explore and gather supplies. I know I'm not a member of your group, but I still believe this is the best course of action. As he looks to Ecclesia, Kanan, Stubble, and Ovar, if you are feeling up to it, that is. As he looks directly to Ovar.
Yeah. Probably no heavy lifting for a hot second, but I can walk around. Try to find some things.
And from here, I will actually let the party decide where to explore. There is this building here, and these 4 buildings over here, and the party may explore as they wish.
Kanan will probably take this one in the corner over here, like on the edge, towards where we started.
The one with the dragon or the one next door?
Hold on. I just dragged Kanan over there so you see which one.
That's how Marcius is spelled?
Yes.
Are you just okay? There's Kanan.
I swear I've typed
This one over
Marcius
here.
to you before.
This one over here, Joseph. Harley.
Uthra Takar. Okay, I see it. Uthra Takar is actually going to mourn their fellow dragons, and Arataka is going to perform the ritual 2 more times while y'all explore. Where would Stubble, Ovar, and Ecclesia like to go? And remember, you don't have to split up.
I don't think Ecclesia is super interested in exploring, to be honest. I feel like she'd kind of just want to sit down and have a meal, or just a snack, or just something to recollect herself.
So
I
you
would like
take the
to go with
position by the
Kanan.
fire? So we're going to start over here. Ovar, or do you just want to stick with the group?
I mean, yeah, if everyone's heading there, I don't think Over would try to go off on his own right now.
Marcius is just going to stick with Arataka and Uthron.
Yeah, as they perform the ceremony.
Yeah.
Every dragon statue makes the Spyro sound effect.
Give Marcius some time to grieve. So they just kind of walked into the shit.
You find yourself smelling the familiar forge and fire of this building, and you recognize this is probably the town forge. As you see armor outside and a target, the front door is unlocked. What do you decide to do?
Go in.
Stubble walks right in without a care.
Okay. I was going to say check and see if maybe they trapped it or something.
To be fair, Stubble declared they're in. Kanan outside. Nothing blew up when they stepped inside.
Yeah, so as long as nothing blew up and they haven't screamed in pain, Kanan will join.
Inside, you see a lot of the same like rugs that you saw at the temple, which seem to be a Yuan-Ti special. But you also see some very common weaponry. You see a forge, and you see a locked door.
Kanan will pick that lock.
Sleight of hand check. Oh, I put a locked door in front of a rogue. What did I think was going to happen? Ooh, I couldn't
rolls a
predict
one.
this.
He rolls the one.
All right, give me your sleight of hand check with your expertise.
27.
And I need to delete some roofing. As like butter, that door comes open.
Butter open.
I meant how smoothly they cut through.
I know what you meant.
As
What is there?
in
Another
here,
locked door?
you see a bedroom.
Is-
But
Let us in.
you see the door's unlocked. You can just walk in.
Oh, I thought the door was still shut.
This door is a little different. It's made entirely of metal, and you see multiple crossbars. In the center is what seems to be a combination lock, but you don't see any keyholes.
Hmm.
I think
would
this one
Kanan
might
have
be this might be my area of expertise.
Kanan steps back and lets Ovar at it. What are you gonna do?
All right, over. You see a
Move
metal
at it?
door.
I'm gonna look at Canon. Option 1 or option 2, you pick.
Option 2. I don't know what it is, but let's go with that.
All right. Ovar pulls out his hammer and is just going to smash the lock.
Swing at it.
Okay. D&D ruling. Does an attack roll count as an ability check?
No.
Or no, yeah, I was gonna say because exhaustion has a separate thing later on that specifically says
No, you're not
you-
rolling with this with disadvantage.
14.
That'll hit, but roll your damage. That's the more important thing.
Alright.
This thing has a pretty,
Yeah,
considering how I described it, you can imagine it has a pretty fucking significant damage threshold.
yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. That's +5, so. Excuse me. 13.
That does not pass the damage threshold. You do not damage the door.
Oh,
Is there a pattern on the door?
It's a combination lock.
Oh.
Would
Oh,
Kanan know anything about being able to, like, you know how people will put their ear to the door and listen for the clicks?
You can attempt with disadvantage, but I'm only going to give it the one attempt.
Yeah, we'll give it the
Remember, Ecclesia has a master lockpickers set if you want to ask her to come help.
This also
You
isn't a
can't-
lock they can pick. I specifically
It's a
described it does not have a
combination
keyhole.
While he's doing that, Stubble wants to go back into the other room, and at that desk there's some papers. I want to see if there's anything, any numbers written on those papers.
First, let's resolve Kanan's thing, and then I'll have you
Okay.
roll investigation and tell me after I resolve Kanan's thing.
Okay.
Do they have a dial, Joe? Because those kinds of doors can be picked too.
You could attempt.
Sorry,
is
Harley.
it still going to be a sleight of hand?
Yeah.
Okay, so
This is also a pretty significant threshold.
22.
That does not actually pick it open.
Damn. Well, that was
All
my one attempt.
right. What's your investigation check, Stubble?
17.
Oh, it was 17. You see with a lot of meaningless paperwork, but you also see orders for various things. And it seems that this person does a lot of business specifically with Anolo, who seems to be somewhat the village chief of the Yanti village. And you see instructions to deliver a lot of things next door.
Okay. That doesn't help us with the door.
Or maybe it does. Now, while you failed to pick it open, Ovar in particular, you can roll me a survival check, and I'm not going to tell you what for unless you pass. Over.
Mhm.
I'm waiting for a
Sorry.
survival check.
Survival. Gotcha. My bad. I didn't hear. My bad. Natural 20.
Then I'm not even going to be coy about it. You smell the exact same smell coming from behind that door that you smelled on the dagger that was going after Kirol.
That's a chemical room.
That's the same chemical smell, which with that nat 20 means behind that door is probably a lab to make that illegal poison.
Does Ovar tell us that?
I'm gonna just be if we manage to get through this door, it might be safest if only I go in there at first.
Okay, I'm going next door.
Just no explanation of why, because you didn't tell them at all what you found. It's like, fuck it, I'm leaving.
I'm just I'm
Meet
just
me next
letting them
door.
know.
I mean, what are you going next door for?
I found a paper with a bunch of numbers on it for next door with items.
What were
Okay.
the numbers?
Harley, did I see the numbers?
The papers are in the other room if they want to investigate.
Yeah,
You
they're
just
in,
saw
it's in,
a bunch of numbers.
yeah, it's a bunch of numbers in the other room in a book. Maybe there's an order to them.
I'll go look.
Oh, why is my phone going off? Oh, just a work text message, whatever.
I guess
You
if they want to continue with that, and if they're going to go next door, Kanan can go check something else out since Ovar seems like he should be the one that goes in there. So we can let them do their thing.
So roll me an investigation on that same paper. With Stubble there to help you, I'd say you can roll it with advantage. And where's Kanan going?
He won't go next door, but he'll go to like, I don't know. He'll go one of the other ones. Because if they're going,
Kanan,
he'll probably go to the one with the ice up against.
I
the
can say you
door.
should have looked with us. Maybe you'd help figured it out, but that's okay.
But what's your investigation, Omar?
17.
Okay, and that was with advantage?
Yes.
All right. With a 17 and with Stubble already catching on to something might be weird here, it's not something you can interpret, but I actually need to ask a question because I don't remember. Did Ecclesia ever show the party the book that scrambles itself, the assassin book?
Ecclesia
Yes.
showed,
Yes.
We showed Carol.
and Stubble. Those are the only two
Yeah.
that saw it.
Then Stubble, while it's meaningless to you two, you get the feeling that whatever technique was used on that recipe book might also be on these order papers. It seems to be a technique taught here. So you get
Ovar.
the feeling that you could take these papers to Ecclesia and might have a better shot of figuring this out.
Ovar, I'm going to take these to Ecclesia. This is like the book we found. And maybe we can
Alright.
figure this out, okay? Or I head over to Ecclesia.
Benny or Ova, are you staying in here to wait for
Or are
results? Or
you
are you
coming
going with
with
her?
me?
No, I'll stay here.
Yeah, I'll be back.
Carrying a couple pieces of paper, Stubble arrives back at the campfire where y'all are having a small meal together.
Ecclesia, can I interrupt you? Please.
Sure.
I found these papers that may unlock a door we don't know, but I need you to decipher them. It's like the recipe book.
Okay, hand them here.
I hand them to her.
You can roll investigation with advantage. It is not the same cipher, but with your knowledge of the technique from decoding the book, you can roll this with advantage.
Okay, give me ein Moment, bitte. $19.
That'll definitely pass. You notice that the orders seem to be in a very specific amount, and the actual numbers are irrelevant. However, the specific things being ordered have a lot of repeated letters. Going down the first column, you count up the main letters, realizing that all these orders only start with the same 3 letters. Counting them up, you get the number 16384. And you get the feeling that that might be the information they're looking for.
Well,
She looks at the papers and then she looks up at Stubbles and she asks, "What's this for?"
it's for a lock on a door that Ovar's going to open because he
Well,
smells a certain smell that he recognizes.
that sounds interesting.
Would you
We
like
can
to
see
go
the
with
store.
us?
I would.
Sorry, what did you say, Sylvie? I didn't hear you because Stubble talked as you did.
I would.
Okay. Let's
Hey,
run
so
over
Klesi
here.
is going to join them. I imagine you're just eating the bread as you walk, just like, you may have interrupted my meal, but I'm finishing this fucking piece. Stubble returns with Ecclesia in tow. His bench, as Ovar's just kind of standing there.
Ovar,
And
Dylan.
talk to Ecclesia. She has our answers, I think.
Ecclesia, do you just walk past them and into the room they're pointing at? That seems like a very Ecclesia thing to do.
Yeah.
Just walks right through the door you unlocked, and you see the combination lock they were referring to. Just walks past y'all trying to make Ecclesia explain. And the 3 numbers that you noted are 16384.
So what's in there?
Poison. But the fact that I can smell it, I do not know how poisonous the fumes might be. So it's safest if I go in there, and
I don't
we'll
think
see
anybody
how
should go
safe
in
it
there.
is. I have a certain resistance to poison.
She also looks at the combination lock and she's like, "You couldn't pick this? These are literally the easiest locks to pick." But fine.
Hey, this
And
is
then she
not lockpicking
tells
lawyer. These are properly made.
I think I'm going to step into the other room
she
in case something
she
happens.
tells
You can open a master lock with another master lock.
I love that video. What were you saying, Sylvie? Sorry.
she tells him the code and then she steps out in case he fucking dies.
All right, I'm gonna remove the slab and then move you both out of the room. Are you full leaving the room or just stepping back? I need to know.
Return the slab. Sorry, what'd you ask?
Stubble's full leaving
Stubble's
the room.
out.
Are you just stepping back or are you leaving the room?
She's going to step back and put a cloth over her face.
You do so, which is a very smart move. You input that code, and the metal bars that are like jutting out from the lock and into the walls recede, and it seems you can now open the door.
Ovar will go in.
I love how even after deleting the door, because you're a fucking centaur, the model will not go cleanly through the door. In this, you see tons of ingredients. The air is thick with the smell of that poison. You see a unrefined vat of it, literally a vat of it. And roll me an investigation check on that desk.
Oh, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on.
Is Stubble safe where she's at? Or can
You
she
are
smell
safe.
it?
And I was going to make a Klesia roll, but with that really smart move of covering their mouth and nose with cloth, I'm not going to make them roll.
Okay.
That was a really good move.
That is a 19.
A 19 on that desk. You see something that seems familiar to that poison book you carry. and you may add to that poison book the recipe for agita.
Oh. Oogie.
Which I will DM you later, but the main component is snake venom. Like very potent snake venom. But you now know how to make it. It is added to Ovar's recipe book. And Arclesia, you seem to notice that with that mouth covering, that was about the precautions you need. You could investigate the room as well. Your eyes might water a bit, but you're not going to be harmed.
She will. She'll try and, I don't know, I guess find anything interesting in there.
Just roll me perception checks both to get some loot. Ovar found the main reward of this room.
17.
Perception, that is 23.
Okay, 17 on yours.
What was the
23
main
on
reward?
yours. The main reward was a reward for Ovar. He has a book of poisons, and one of the missing recipes was this poison. He now knows how to make it, so that means if he gets the ingredients, he can make the blinding poison agita. Or
Yeah,
agita,
bam.
which is a big reward for him. Doesn't really help anybody else, but sometimes I like to give specific people like very niche rewards.
Blinding our enemies is very helpful to our like 90% melee combatant group.
With your 22, 23, 22, roughly early 20s perception, you see a vial of potent snake venom and 200 gold in rare herbs that you know would make poisons. With your
What herbs are we talking
19,
about? Sorry.
they might get you high, but they might also taint your lungs black and kill you.
It's the kind of high where it's
Immediately
just
rather than
killing
over
brain
20 years.
cells. It's like a gasoline high, I'm guessing.
While he focuses on that, you, with a more trained thief's eye, notice an unguarded strongbox that you just snag, and inside of it is 300 gold.
Yeah, that's mine.
I figured that's where Clesia's eyes would go.
I'm also going to take those valuable herbs.
As you see Ecclesia reach for those herbs, Ovar, you recognize that those would probably best be used with your poison kit, or anybody with a poisoner's kit.
Yeah,
over their monetary value.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. I'll see.
I'm not trying to tell people not to take things, but
no, Ovar would stop her either way, and then just kind of be like, you keep the gold. I'm going to keep these herbs.
No, I got us in here. I'll take half. Thanks.
That's fair. The DM probably shouldn't chime in
Then
with
I
that's
will-
fair.
Then I will take half that gold.
Again, I got us in here. I get first dibs.
Stubbles hears that, and she's like, I found the papers! But I'm looking at the rugs or whatever it is on the wall.
So maybe all the herbs should go to Stubbles.
Stubble don't want them.
Kanan got you through the first door, so I don't know what the hell y'all are talking about.
Right?
You said it was about
argue about
200
split.
gold worth of herbs, Harley?
Yeah, 200 gold worth of rare herbs that are
Yeah, so
primarily used
technically
in poison making.
So technically, you're getting more than half of the value by
Yeah,
just taking
but-
the gold.
She still opened the door. I'm sorry, I'm not being greedy in real life. I'm just trying to play Ecclesia more like a thief lately. So,
I think it's cool.
fine, I'll take 50 gold's worth, and you can have the rest.
So you get 150 gold worth of rare herbs and a vial of potent snake venom and the recipe for agita. I forgot the amount of gold I told you. You get the amount of gold I told you plus 50 things in rare herbs. I made up a gold value on the spot to reward the perception check. Sorry, Chad. I'm peeking behind the curtain. Sometimes I make shit up on the spot. But all
Is
right, with that,
is the
go on.
potent snake venom different from the agita? Or is
The,
that's the
from the
ingredient
recipe,
you make?
that is the primary ingredient.
Okay. In
And
this, is
with
there
these rare
anything?
herbs and a poisoner's kit, you should be able to make at least one thing of Vegeta
I was gonna
and
say, is
have
there
rare
anything in the
herbs left
book
over.
about purifying the vat of poison?
And we are back. Turns out there was an unexpected server maintenance, so I made the map, but we're gonna play at Theater of the Mind for now. Welcome to Classic D&D. We're
Difficult.
going to we are going to leave the party that just found the lab with their new, somewhat nice rewards. Stubble didn't get much out of it, but hey, adventure.
Stubble
And we're going
didn't
to
die of
go.
poisonous fumes.
We're going to go to Marcius. You have the last dragon has been crystallized, and you are standing next to your hero, who seems incredibly solemn. And with nobody other than you around, our Aratak feels more comfortable being honest with something that is true about her, as she whispers to Marcius, "It's pain to see. It's pain for a mother to see so many of their children die."
It's pain to see so many people that you've grown up with and lived with and been friends with laying lifeless.
I fear this is the end of our way of life, Marcius. I am very old and not the guardian I once was. Even those displays I showed during that last battle have me more winded than they ever have before.
I wouldn't know of anybody that could do what you've done on the level that you've done. Even Issa, I don't see in current time her being able to live
Issa
up to
is
that.
quite a powerful dragon bonded. The only problem is, she's not a dragon.
Yes, that too. That too. But I
Uthrod, it is a big responsibility to take on this many memories. You will do well with them. I have faith. As Uthrod seems in the same sullen mood that Marcius is, as it's sinking in for both of them that these people, these dragons that you know the names of, that you've grown up with, will never return home. Even your even the dragons of your friends, you were very lucky that your father and Uso made it out. But every other Drake that's not currently in the hatchery is dead except for Uthrad Takar and the other Bella.
Marcius won't say anything directly to Uthrod. He will just hoping that Uthrod Takar doesn't bite his hand off, just comfortingly put his hand on the back of his neck and just kind of like slowly pet to kind of like show that
Uthrod flinches at the touch but doesn't like rebuff you, as they're processing a lot right now.
Marcius is just trying to show that he does care about Uthrod and knows that he's probably struggling just as hard as others are.
Uh, she looks to Uthrod once more and says, "You're about to reach your next stage of development. It is an unfortunate time for you to suffer such tragedy when you're undergoing so many changes." dragon puberty.
Drewberty.
That's what he said. It's because of the sun. It looks like he's wearing his cat ears.
I will not be around forever to protect this mountain. Soon it will have to survive on its own. I fear that day may come sooner than we believe.
And
Look
I
at
don't
what I
believe
failed, or look at the failure that was this battle.
I don't believe there's many left of our kind to help defend it. Everybody else is aged, and there's not many drakes left to bond to people.
And this last batch of drakes was the last of the children I can bear. I am also undergoing great change. This is the last generation of dragons that will be part of my lineage. Only the highest up of the dragon bonded know that information. But as the rest have been slain, I suppose that means you are one of the highest ranked dragon bonded now. So I confide this in you.
Marcius is both kind of giddy and extremely depressed about that. Like he wanted to be top tier, but not this way.
How'd you become top tier? Everybody else fucking died.
He wanted to be top tier because he earned it, not because he was the only one left. It's like, I'm the best. Everyone else is dead. Therefore, I'm the best.
Here's what's worse. He's not even the best because Issa's still alive.
Yeah,
He basically
Issa's-
lucked his way into second place.
Yeah,
I'm second. There's only 2 spots. I'm still second.
I'm simultaneously the second best and worst dragon bonded left.
yeah. One of those
The
situations.
second best, but the worst one.
Elon
But
Musk. We're describing Elon Musk. He lucked his way into second place. He's the second best, but the absolute fucking worst. That's Elon Musk.
But yes,
Yeah, just
as this conversation goes on, nobody in the rest of the party is aware that Arataka is a dragon, an actual dragon.
Oh.
As we're going to soup back to the campfire gang,
You?
2 people being depressed standing by a graveyard, and then you have a very mismatched trio left by the campfire. As Tara's like, does anybody have any ghost stories? As Carol gurgles in pain and Saros looks at his fucking infected skin. The only ghost story left is my fate. Bummer.
name generator did.
Kirill?
Claire.
Hi.
Any ghost stories? You can choose not to answer. I'm just doing a bit.
Carol gurgles in pain, just
I could tell you about the specter of communism. That's a
Communism?
ghost.
As Kirill explains the specter of communism and he zooms that back to the other group.
Kirill fucking verbatim quotes the Communist Manifesto. That's the name.
But back to the group that investigated that home, you, following the path of the note, realize that you might also find more things to loot next door. As while 2 of you are investigating, I think in Ecclesia's mind, you're looting. Would that be accurate?
Absolutely. Now that Stubbles has gotten Ecclesia off her ass, she is. Yep.
I'm still checking out I think it's rugs that are hanging on the wall, the stuff that are hanging on the wall in the other room.
You would have a hard time carrying them because they're quite heavy, but they're nice rugs.
But do the designs in them mean anything?
Roll investigation.
They're just rugs.
Never mind. Let's go to the next one because I only rolled a 6.
Listen, every DM has to be prepared for when the party decides they really need to intently focus on the rugs.
The door. Always the door. The big bad of every D&D campaign. Doors.
I just noticed the designs on them and I thought, well, maybe it means something.
But you don't recognize anything other than, wow, they really like putting squiggles in their fucking rugs.
They mark their territory.
You make your way through the gate and into the next door, and it's a lot more of a normal home. But you do see a desk in the living room next to where the bed is in that one side room. And you may choose to. Does anybody wish to investigate the desk in the bedroom?
I will. I'm good for that move.
Lots of investigation rolls today.
Investigation roll again.
Yep.
17. Again.
Nice. If you're just looking to steal valuables, Ecclesia, you can roll perception instead. What about you, Over? Are you rolling investigation?
Sure.
I figure you're going to curl
All
up in
right.
the bed for a few.
What about you, Ecclesia? What's your deal? What you doing?
11.
Searching for shit.
All right, so you
She's
roll
going-
perception. You're going where?
From building to building, just picking
Well, we
up
are going
stuff
to go
that
one
people
building
don't
at a
need.
time. We are going to go one building at a time because I put stuff in every building.
22.
Okay. We're going to resolve those in the order they were made, except for the middle one because you didn't find shit.
I have a +0 to investigation, but I have a +4 to perception.
What Stubble finds is on that desk seems to be a lot of paperwork. And you start to get sick of looking at paperwork, considering that's what you found in the other home. But these seem to be letters from various important people thanking them for supplying useful goods
Oh.
and quite quality products.
So can I yell that to Ovar and Ecclesia from the other room?
Yeah, you yell that.
Mm-hmm. I
Uh,
yell that. I tell them.
But I want to, with Ecclesia's perception, you see more of those same rugs on the wall, but you've got a sharp thief's eye, and you know when someone's hiding a door. And you feel that draft, and you find a door hidden behind one of those rugs. It is locked, but it's a rather simplistic lock. It seems this door was not meant to be found.
Oh, that shit's getting
I forgot what Kanan is doing.
Kanan wandered off to go investigate one of the other buildings.
I'll let you investigate the building by the graveyard. Since I forgot you were there.
I had wandered him off to the one that had the ice in front of it. I didn't know I was going to even try to get into it.
Okay. But yeah, roll me that sleight of hand to pick it open, and it doesn't look like it's going to give you a hard time with your
Who,
master
me?
lock picking kid. No.
That is a
We're on Ecclesia.
that is an unnatural 30.
Gone.
Natural 30. What?
That was a fucking.
This time
that
I
was a
do lock.
fucking
No, this
DC
time I
11.
McNally official it. I slide the fucking pick in and out of the lock, and it just opens.
This time you do lockpicking lawyer.
I'm not even lock picking lawyering. I'm McNally officialing. McNally officialing is the guy who opens the locks even better than lock picking lawyer.
But I've never heard of them, so good to know. But yeah, that door opens, and
This
behind it
content's
you
very
find a
funny.
staircase. So while Stubble is shouting that they find letters from all over the country, Ecclesia, you find a full fucking door and staircase in the hallway behind a rug.
Yeah, I'm more interested in that. So I'm gonna cover my face again and go down in there.
Oh, they actually go up. It leads to the second floor.
Going up in there.
Do you shout to anybody else that you're going up?
I'll say, Stubbles, I found a pathway. You can come check it out if you like.
Cool. I follow her.
All right. You go. Ovar, do you just say, fuck it, it's stairs and leave? Or do you want to go up too? Because it's not only stairs, it's stairs with a narrow turn.
Ovar is too tired for stairs right now. Ovar, I think Ovar at this point. I think Ovar, having got his poison and everything, I think he'll just go back to the campfire and maybe start like examining the exact process of making the poison.
You come back to the campfire as Carol's halfway through explaining the Communist Manifesto.
Ovar sets his ring in front of Kirol and disappears into the ring.
On the second
I make sure I
floor.
speak loud enough for Ovar to hear it.
No, you hold it to your mouth like a mic and continue talking.
Like one of those fucking TikTokers holding a lav mic to there despite it being a lav.
So, at about 4 times volume, Ovar, you are now hearing halfway through the Communist Manifesto.
And Ovar just Eldritch blasts his ears off.
Oh, God.
But back with Stubble and Ecclesia, you see something familiar, and then it clocks you that you did spy them in hidden places around the village, as you see 3 mirrors on the wall that show various parts of the town. As you realize, those same cameras that were in the Advancia prison were placed around this village.
We just found their security room. God damn.
And beside that is a very large map covering large areas of the wall. And you may roll history or investigation. Ecclesia, yours is with advantage. And Stubble, you may roll this as well.
I just rolled a 19 and an 18. I'm doing good tonight.
Fucking badass.
18 is my total. I have a -1 to intelligence.
What was Stubble's?
18.
You both recognize, I believe it would be Stubble that would say it just like, there's a bunch of circles around all these towns and a bunch of squares around all these cities. And as soon as those words come out of Stubble's mouth, Ecclesia, you weren't a drug trader. You worked with many people that were. You're looking at a drug distribution network on the wall.
Oh boy. This town was a node for drug trafficking.
Do you think that's what caused all this?
Absolutely.
Wow.
I'm not sure about the infection, but certainly part of it.
And the plot thickens.
And in that room, you also find a book of records, but they're not very detailed. It looks like they're intentionally vague, and not in the way the cipher is mixed up. These look incredibly vague on purpose as a client list that only the reader could truly interpret because it's missing like 90% of the information. No, you're still in the mayor's house or the chief's house.
I wonder if these were his hookers.
What?
That's a hell of an assumption.
Type C, right?
Maybe
I
they're.
don't even follow the line of logic.
It was just different names that were there. I don't know. I was just throwing the thought out.
You don't have the Type C one yet.
Yeah. You've done business in a lot of these towns. And you think with this information, Ecclesia, it might be easier to find like drug dealers and things in various towns. Basically, if you're looking specifically for dealers, you might have advantage looking for them if you take this map. If you ever need to get in contact with some criminals.
Ecclesia, believe it or not, does not partake, but she'll, I guess, tuck it away just in case. She has extra room in her coat, so.
Information and leverage is still information and leverage. Do you also take the what you assume is the client lists?
I
You
said
don't have
yes.
to.
Sorry,
You
I
can leave
don't,
it there.
I don't know if you heard.
Okay.
No, she said
I
yes.
didn't hear it. Sorry.
Yeah, you're good.
You find that and you realize, yeah, this tiny little mountain town had a lot more going on for it than would appear on the surface. Kanan, before you investigate that, no, we'll do this. You enter the home where a dragon crashed through the wall. And you see caskets, empty caskets, but caskets, as you seem to have found the mortician's home. Pinned against the wall, you see the corpse of a Yuan-Ti that was killed when the dragon crashed through the fucking wall. While you don't see anything other than normal mortician's tools downstairs, you see a broken staircase upstairs that with some maneuvering and a roll, you could try to go up.
We'll give it a shot.
Just acrobatics.
Oh, that's good.
There's
because
not much of a staircase left.
I have high acrobatics.
You're a rogue. I
Somehow.
wouldn't be fucking surprised. You're a rogue.
Strength-based rogue.
21.
Poop, poop. You're up the stairs easy.
And that's even with a low roll. Well, low for me anyway.
Fuck you, rogue privilege. That's rogue privilege. Upstairs, you see just the belongings of a normal man. You can roll perception to try to find anything valuable, but it doesn't seem like this was connected to the shit that they were finding in the other homes.
We're just normal men.
There's a reason I want you in here.
Okay, I'm rolling perception.
Yes, because you might find something valuable in here. This seems to be a rather normal place.
19.
The 19, you find a +1 dagger that kind of seems to have been used on bodies in prepping them. So basically a +1 scalpel, but a +1 dagger.
That's wonderful. Is that what you wanted me to find?
Smaller square.
No. With that 19, I want a stealth roll from Marcius, and oh, that's a bad stealth roll from our dragon friend.
Marcius gets a 10 on stealth.
Yeah, Arataka got a 4. With that, you didn't see Kanan go into the building. But with your perception roll, Kanan overhears the entire conversation between Arataka and Marcius.
Kanan's eyes open wide, and he just whispers to himself, "Fuck, really? How did I not know that?"
You hear from beginning to end. Kanan seems to have a talent for overhearing important conversations.
And half the time, never trying
Well-
to.
But here's the thing: Kanan will hear it and be like, "Shit, how did I not know that?" And then he's also going to be like, "Well, it's not my place to tell anybody, but if it comes up, I know."
So with investigating that last house, you get a little bit of information on our friends Marcius and Arataka. And as they talk about all that, about being the last of their line, your mind flashes to something that you had long forgotten. As
Oh, god damn it,
you hear
Harley.
Janice's voice. Well, I don't really have anyone left. I suppose you could say I'm the last druid of my kind. I haven't seen a fawn druid of my clan in almost 10 years. As you are sitting in the Feywilds, not lost. It seems like even before the events that led to your tragedy, you belong to the Fey. And this seems to be one of your first meetings with Janice. Sitting under a very large blooming tree with a rainbow of leaves.
So is this? Do I need to play out the memory, or am I just having
You
that
can-
brief little?
You can choose to, or you can let it die there. Does Kanan want to get this and want to relive this, or does it hurt too much?
I think it would hurt, but Kanan would want to try and remember stuff that he's forgotten. So I think he'll let the memory play out to the best that he can.
With that, you see a crystal clear puddle of water and your own reflection in it. You're not wearing dark clothes. You seem to be somewhat dressed for the wild, but comfortable in the Feywilds as you approach Janice out of pure curiosity, if nothing else, as you have never seen a fawn druid just hanging out in the Feywilds. Not part of a court, not part of any of the seelie or unseelie tidings. Literally sitting under a tree, playing a flute. It's always nice to have company. Did Kanan say anything all those years ago? Or was he just awestruck by this fawn sitting under a rainbow tree?
He's going to be a bit awestruck, but then also just kind of shake it off and be like, "Yeah, it's always lonesome going around alone. So it is. The company's definitely nice."
It's only lonesome if you let it be. As she just beams you the brightest smile.
Kanan will say, I don't have much experience in the otherwise, but maybe you could show me."
Context
And we
for the
will
audience: this is autistic flirting.
And real life, I have no clue how that shit works, so I'm I'm playing
but yes,
along with something.
Kanan is pulled out of the memory as the words last of my kind spark a fleeting memory of Janice and your memory of you always thought that you were trapped in the Feywilds, like someone took you there. It seems like you might have actually somehow belonged in the Feywilds.
Puppy's having a blast.
As if it was a home of yours. But yes. You both leave the mayor's house. Kanan, you step out of the mortician's house, and everybody meets by the campfire and realizes, well, we've explored the other 4 homes. Who would like to explore the last one? As you also see a large telescope behind it, a device that I think only Kirill and Ecclesia would be familiar with. Kirill from their studies, Ecclesia from being in cities that have them. Do you decide to explore the final building?
I think Omar would.
Yes.
Right. This would be an Over and Ecclesia pairing then. We've never had that before. You both enter, and there doesn't seem to be anything mysterious about this house. But you walk into the back room and you see this is some type of arcanist study. You see star charts on the walls. You see like papers littered everywhere. And you see an orb within a container that is just not container, like an orb in a holder on the desk. And you see it seems like this orb might contain some information. You've seen things like this before. Even Ovar has from working in the church that these orbs host memories.
Oh,
And all you have to do is touch them. And they will play back.
Omar will pick up one of them.
There is only one.
Oh, I thought. Okay. And you had said
When I
orbs,
said
and I
these
was
orbs,
thinking.
I was referring to the collective of this type of object.
Okay, yeah, no. Then he'll pick it
Um,
up.
You pick it up, and both you and Ecclesia can see it quite. Oh my god, everybody's messaging me on Discord. What the fuck? I usually don't look at my messages on Discord, but I went to tab out to look at something. It's just like, oh, hi, you've got 12 messages. Just gonna ignore that. None of them are from my players. I hope nobody's dying.
Oh, nobody's dying.
I am on the inside.
Uh, it begins playing, and you see a Yanti man with a spell book in his hand looking at the orb. And he says, record date, 9th of Tarvos, 1822. For context, that was about 2 months ago, your guys' time.
Is that around the
That,
start of our adventure? A little after
that was
that?
around the start of your adventure, yes. A little bit after, because your adventure's been going on for at least 3 months.
I was like, I know, like, the
Uh,
early part of our adventures was, like, a week or two, and then we've slowly spaced it out.
um, 9th of Tarvos, 1822. I've been consulting the star charts, and none of it makes sense. The divination all points to one thing. The end is coming. However, for some reason, it keeps referring to the end as an entity. I am finding no answers, and I don't want to worry others, but I've never seen anything like this before.
Uh-oh.
Record date 15th of Tarvos, 1822. Something has gone wrong. The warnings of the end came in waves, and now it's written in the entire star chart. The end is coming. The warning is a the warning is a stagnant beacon in the sky, and Anolo isn't listening to me at all. I have sent word to Orion at the Scola Argentinium, but I've heard nothing back. A voice can be heard in the background as he turns. Surtur, come here. We found something. I want history checks from both of you if you don't recognize the name Orion. Not the real life one, the character.
Failed that one.
You said history?
Over? Yeah.
I don't think I have. Do I? I do not. So that's just a 19.
Nice. With a 19, I'll actually give you both pieces of information. One, You've heard the name of the Scola Argentinium before. That's your next destination. That's where you were told to investigate after this.
Oh,
And
honestly.
Orion was one of the statues in the prison as part of the Alistair puzzle. He is one of
Oh,
Alistair's champions.
yeah, he was. Wasn't it like two
He was
of the
the
four
Knoll.
were dead? Yeah, like two of the four were dead,
Yeah.
or three of the four were dead.
3 of the 4 were dead. And you picked
He
up
was
on the
the only
fact
one.
that Orion wasn't.
Yeah.
The next recording begins. Record date 21st of Tarvos, 1822. The Guardian Dragon has gone berserk. Some black substance is coating it. We drove it back and got a sample. He holds up a vial that you recognize as the corrupting ooze.
Oh, wonderful.
I also contacted the substance myself. Hopefully it takes more than contact to infect.
Uh-oh.
That recording ends and the 4th one begins, and the man before you looks very different. He's notably disheveled, and you see like black veins on his arms.
What prank was there?
Record date. Record date. Damn it, what is it today? Record date. Uh, we underestimated whatever this is. How arrogant are we to think that something could taint the Guardian would get to us too? Our leader Anolo was first to fall. They were on the front lines in our battle with the Guardian and came in direct contact with this corruption several times. Next were our warriors who fought in the battle, and I'm soon to follow. I've been hearing whispers and voices constantly. They whisper of the end. I was right. God help me, I was right. I'm removing the password on my recorder orb. To any who find this, I'm sorry, as I will likely be dead by your hands. It is a better fate than corruption. The last message comes in, and the same man is holding a skull mask in his hands that you recognize as the spellcaster that you fought outside that became a frozen statue.
Oh, wonderful.
This time he stares directly into the orb, his eyes a neon blue. The end is coming. She cannot be stopped. She cannot be stopped. She cannot be stopped. And the
Oh, fuck.
recording ends. And you see that was the last memory that was recorded. How did the two that just witnessed this react to all of that?
Us who's speechless.
Well, I guess all four statues are dead now.
This wasn't the man he just simply said he sent the information to this man.
Okay,
He's not
okay, never mind.
Orion. He messaged Orion.
Oh, okay, I misunderstood. That's on me. I think he'll be, well, looks like we have a more direct path of where we gotta go next.
Makes you wonder who she is too, even though I didn't hear it.
We know, even though we didn't hear it.
With you both in this room, it seems that the orb playing undid an arcane lock as you see something slide out of a book in the back of the room as you see another orb, but not a recorder. What do you decide to do?
Is Ecclesia still kind of like speechless and a little unmoving?
She just doesn't really know what to say or do.
Not sure if that's an in-character thing or a bad DMing thing.
Ovar will go.
No, I
ahead.
also just don't know what to do in real life. That's not your fault. I'm just kind of, I don't know what to do.
But you walk over to the orb, Ovar?
Yeah.
You pick it up, and you see that same man from the recorder orb, except he seems normal. And as you touch the orb, you feel your int score become 18. You feel a lot smarter
Oh.
as you hear the voice inside say, if you're picking this up, that means you likely watched what befell of me. I used the last of my magic to store part of my intellect in this orb. Please use it to find out whatever this is. I can't assist you directly as I am likely a corpse. But I hope that my arcane magic will help you. As in your hand is an item called Flash of Genius. I'm going to read you its exact effect.
I was gonna say, is this like the? I was gonna say you don't like artificers, so there's no way this is like the ability.
Nope, but it is named after the ability. And even if I hate the thing, doesn't mean I hate the effect. But no, it's not what you think it is. Flash of Genius. An orb containing the intellect of a fallen scholar named Surtur. When activated, the user can grant one humanoid creature within 10 feet a temporary int score of 18 and proficiency in all intelligence skills. This is not double proficiency for skills the target is already proficient in. This lasts for 1 hour and can be used once per long rest. It does not require attunement.
Oh. Oh, that's cool.
Once per long rest, you can grant somebody an int score of 18 and proficiency in int skills, but it doesn't require attunement, so whoever wishes to carry it may.
Oh, this is exactly what our brain dead party needed.
Almost like I made it for that exact purpose.
This is exactly what our brain dead party needed.
But you now hold an orb containing the former consciousness of the sorcerer that you just watched ascend into madness. Or the wizard. And for the next hour, you have an int score of 18. I kind of expected you guys to explore this building first and have an int score of 18 to explore the rest of them.
You know, the
That's
worst
not
part
how
is,
it
Joe,
played
is
out.
when I was before the map went out, my brain went, I really want to go check out that telescope. And then everybody else went to the other house, and I was like, I guess I'll go there.
Well, I thought somebody else was going to go to the telescope, so I was just trying to give Kanan his own little thing, and
I didn't see the
everybody
telescope.
followed.
I hate that when I'm recording, I can't see my mouse on my actual desktop, so I can't scroll to see things. Okay. But yes, Ovar, you have the item Flash of Genius, but you know it can be given to whoever needs it.
Mechanics
It's
wise,
already been
it's not
used.
whoever's the way you
It's not
specified
whoever's
it.
holding it. It's you can choose any humanoid within 10 feet.
Okay.
And it
But
grants
like
an int score
whoever's
of
holding
18
it.
and proficiency in int scores for an hour. Yep, whoever's holding it chooses who the int score goes to.
Okay. The nice easy way is it is a +7 to all int ability checks.
Pretty much. Until your proficiency bonus gets higher.
Yeah, until yeah. It's a all int checks become +7.
I will also DM you that item. But yes, he referenced several times that something in the stars is spelling the end.
And the end was but I'm trying to remember what Ovar learned, or we learned that the end
Tyrell
being an
learned.
entity was. Did Tyrell tell everyone?
Yeah, Kira would have updated everyone.
Okay, so Ovar and I guess because Celestia watched it too, would recognize that the end as an entity is
The Crow Goddess, yes.
yeah. Oh, that's what do you mean by in the stars though? There are star charts in this area, or
This room is filled with star charts. It seems like that might have been a specialty of his.
would
Star chart based
Ovar's
divination.
Would Ovar's sister or anyone in the church have dabbled in something like would he have any hint at how to do this, or is this just
I'll
or
let you
like
make a
would he
raw
know?
intelligence check.
Okay.
I set up the scenario. And notably, it already automatically triggered on you.
Yes. Dirty 20.
You never had telescopes in the past. You've stared at the stars your whole life. Stars are part of like half of all fucking myths. While
Yeah.
you may think there's heroes up there, you've read the stars. But you get the feeling that you could use the information in here, especially with that flash of genius you just got, and you might be able to see what he saw if you investigate that telescope.
Yeah. I'll go look through the telescope because it is a little
By the way,
alarming.
Ecclesia, suddenly it feels like, even though he hasn't changed appearance wise, it feels like Ovar is suddenly wearing really thick glasses and talking with a lisp, even though nothing has changed.
She just raises an eyebrow and thinks he's being weird.
What's the word?
He said
What the
Eureka
hell?
like 3 times while
What
looking through
your
star charts.
Urethra!
He sounds like Steve
Eureka.
Urkel now.
Can I do that?
But you make your way outside, and these stairs were not made for horses, but I'm not punishing you for it.
He's smart enough now to get up them without hurting his ankles.
He's got the intelligence to figure out the walking pattern. To get around a circular staircase up to a telescope.
I can climb.
Oh my god, you just made me fucking flashback, especially with me describing you with thick glasses of I can climb, rips off shirt, I can fight from fucking Fairly Odd Parents.
Oh yeah, the their version of King Arthur.
King Arthur.
I can fight.
Tony, if it doesn't violate copyright, throw that clip over there.
Only a couple seconds. I think it'd be fine.
But yeah, you go to the telescope, and this will be an investigation check with
Hey,
advantage because you are working with the star charts you just investigated.
hey! Now it's +7 instead of a flat roll.
Hey, it's almost like I made this item literally to band-aid a party without an int score to speak of.
Another dirty 20.
You look, and with your new knowledge of star charts, you see what seems to be lots of warnings. It looks like this has been in the sky for a while, but nobody's paid attention to it. Because looking at the sky and screaming apocalypse is what every fucking nut job does before they're fired from their agency.
I've done that.
Well, this one
Okay,
got
Chicken Little.
fired from existence.
As you see warnings of the end, warnings of death, warnings of a horrible fate incoming, and yeah, Surtur knew what the fuck he was talking about when he was reading these stars. As you see them and begin to wonder, how was this missed? And a deeper thought cuts into. I want an insight check. No, I don't want to just fucking say you figure this out. I want an insight check.
26.
26?
Yeah.
Insight's wisdom, isn't it? Or is it
Oh, is it?
intelligence? I don't have a sheet in front of me.
No, you're right, you're right. I kept thinking of the +7. I was like, oh, this will be, never mind, 23.
Okay, fair. I was about to say 26 feels odd. Not like super off, but odd.
Yeah, no, I have proficiency in it.
With a 23, and especially with your knowledge of like how covering up religions work due to the fact that you are a heretical worshiper of a goddess and pretending to be someone else, there's no fucking way the church didn't know about this. A cover up must have happened. Because there's no way the church didn't know about this.
Right.
And that's what you get from reading the stars.
Especially when the leader of the church is a divination demigod. Demigod.
Demigod. He's
Demigod.
half of a god because he's one god split into two.
Yeah.
But you make your way down the stairs, once again not falling because you're now smart enough to know how to walk in a circle.
Yay!
You trot your happy ass down the stairs, happy to finally be over
Oh,
your cow
as
phobia.
his internal dialogue is, oh, don't leap up the stairs. Walk normally.
I will now that you have had that revelation, I will no longer, even for a joke, make you roll deck saves to walk upstairs.
Yay! I like to think that Ovar, trots like a normal horse, but then when he gets to stairs, he thinks he has to like leap like front hooves to back hooves. So circles confused him because he didn't know how to leap diagonally.
But yes, you make your way back down with this new information. Ecclesia, I assume that you made your way back to the fire where everybody's sitting.
Yeah.
Marcius and Arataka also make their way back to that fire. And so does Kanan, I assume. Also, Tony, you keep forgetting to press push to talk. I've seen you talk several times.
Nothing that
He's
needed to be heard.
thinking out loud. This is, I think he's thinking out loud.
Oh, but yes, Ovar, you come back with a head full of information. And do you want to share it with clients?
Just because you did it
Don't
that way,
laugh like
no.
that.
Just because you did it that way, no. Ovar has a. I don't know. I don't think tipping off the goddess secrets about this would be a good idea. Because I was gonna
He
say
doesn't know.
because Ovar. Well, no, because the. Oh no, we don't. Never mind. We don't know that happens. Never mind. That would be a little too metagamey. Say if Ovar whispered the secret of knowing the stars into the deck of our deck of secrets, then it would be relayed to Alistair that Ovar now knows.
To be fair, the question of whether he hears what's in the deck has been posed. That is a reasonable theory.
Oh, okay. I wasn't. Yeah, but do we want to?
You
So if you
acknowledge-
decide you wish to,
You
I will
acknowledge when we
it's up
use
to
the
you.
deck that he
inform
heard.
everyone. I will inform everyone of what happens, and then kind of go. Would it be smart to tip him off that we know? Like, would there be a reason to do that? But also letting everyone know.
So yeah, you all get the explanation of what he figured out. He still sounds funky. He seems a lot smarter than when he fucking entered that house.
Would you think he could use it against us if he knew that we knew now? Or switch
would he
things
use it?
up?
It depends on his view on what's happening. Maybe he wants it to happen, maybe he doesn't.
Yeah,
Again,
well,
the party doesn't know his relation to that part of the story. Well, we don't. Well, the party doesn't.
Because
We
we
do.
know he wants us to help him in some way. And he seems to be able to. He likes to plan ahead. So if he knew we had more information, maybe
Maybe
there's
it
a
might be
more likely chance he helps us later down the line.
okay.
Arataka will ask, who is the he you're referring to?
Do we tell him?
Alistair.
Okay.
Kanan wouldn't hesitate. It's Alistair, right? That's who they're referring to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe that if we choose to keep it secret from him, he will learn it anyways. It might benefit us to tell him directly.
Okay. It's up
Oh
to
yeah, because yeah.
Yeah.
You either willingly tell the deck, or he just goes like, I don't know, like lag
That
time
e-
loads. Oh, they know this now.
That is one of the powers of being over the domain of secrets. It's hard to keep information from you.
We'll let Ovar do it. We'll watch and listen.
Ovar will ask Kirill for the deck.
Yeah, Kira will hand it over.
And
You take the deck. Do you whisper that secret into it? You
yes,
go on.
I think you'd.
You
I want to see if I can think of how I'd word it. I think Ovar would probably word it something like, "I know the ah." I don't know how. No, I can't think of how to word it. Never mind. I'll just say he words it
you
somehow.
if I could assist with you, I think Ovar would probably word it. We found out about the warning in the stars.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, there's no
Um,
point to involve that, like, it, because Ovar would just kind of theorize that the church knew and didn't tell.
as you say that, you feel the deck fill with power like it normally does, but it feels even more than usual. As you reach, usually nothing happens except for you draw the card. You watch the deck shuffle in front of you in your hand.
Oh, oh, wonderful.
Give me a second. And the card that lands on top is the Wheel of Fortune. On
Oh,
that card is Alistair himself.
and I'm assuming it's upright.
Oh, does he appear? Get off my
It is
computer.
upright.
Yep.
And instead of a magical effect triggering, you feel it stop as something goes to trigger, and you hear Alistair's voice come from the card.
Ooh.
Ah, I see you've learned what I've been trying to reveal. If only the others would listen. They don't want this information out. But I suppose, considering you're already wanted by the church, it doesn't harm you even further to know it. The capital has been covering up this secret for months.
Months?
Yeah, because
Months.
the recording was from like a couple weeks after we had fled the capital.
Why would the capital want to cover everything?
Because if people found out, this would incite panic.
Why does the capital do anything? Greed and power.
Yeah, the easiest way for the capital to lose power is to incite panic amongst its people.
That makes sense.
You did well to tell me. I would have found out, considering it's information I already know. But it seems you are on the path to defying the end. Remain on this path, and perhaps we will be allies. Stray from it, and I will sever your tides of fate.
Sound like
Oh,
a threat.
there's the good old Alistair.
Right?
We are only allies so long as we are working towards the same goal.
Friends
It's
like
not
him,
an
I don't
ally
want
of
enemies.
friendship.
Yeah.
You certainly
Be
don't want
sure.
me as an enemy, Stubble.
No,
You
I said friends
certainly
like
Ah.
you.
don't.
I don't want enemies.
Still said I don't want enemies at all.
So I
Stubble's the
think
one
we're
at the
saying
fire
that.
singing Kumbaya.
So, so I think we're saying
Uh,
that Alistair is entirely opposed to the Crow God and acquaintances.
I don't have anything.
oh, figure that out on your own, did you? Good job.
Well, it hurt to figure it out, but we figured it out.
I second that.
Kanan, the more you talk to Alistair, the more pain your hand is in.
Yep,
Oh,
because
that's
Something
he
feels
could
wonderful.
real
tell.
angry.
Because he can. Oh shit! Nope, it's not him. It's her.
Whatever did that to your hand is not fucking happy to hear Alistair's voice, and you are in physical pain.
So everyone, we're all just like mindfully linked here, I guess, temporarily.
So Kanan
Um,
just starts like feeling excruciating pain, and everybody else acknowledges it. Does Alistair? Can he hear and tell what's happening?
that depends. Are you close enough to for him to hear you? How loud are you being?
I don't know if it's enough that Kanan's in excruciating physical pain. I'm assuming he's like suddenly went from nonchalantly talking to "ow, ow, motherfucker, ow."
Is your friend all right? Is he dying?
Maybe.
I mean, aren't we all dying? Well, maybe not you, but us
Not.
mortals.
Give me a wisdom saving throw.
Who?
Over. Wait, let me
Oh
check the
yeah.
spell.
Oh no.
Yes, he can cast a spell through this.
Oh no.
You tried to
Let me
hide
make
it.
sure the stats right.
You tried to hide it, is what you did, Ovar.
It is a
You
wisdom
shouldn't have.
saving throw.
I'm trying to really hide. I was just being a
Oh
pretentious
no, he's
asshole.
doing something else for the sake of the fact that you made the worst fucking joke.
15.
You fail.
Yeah, I thought so. I don't think I could pass it.
No, you could. He has a passable DC.
Oh, okay. I have a +1, so.
You take 15 psychic damage as he says, "Don't be pathetic." Vicious mockery.
That was half of my current. That was half of my remaining HP.
Now, I will grant you this blessing, as it is you have drawn my card. Um, the card, the Wheel of Fortune, allows you to pick 4 targets, and you may choose to add 1d6 to all of their rolls for the next minute, or subtract 1d6 for the next minute. You have nothing but allies around you, so I'm guessing you're blessing 4 people with d6s.
Not that we need it, but
Nah, because we're
Just
about to take a long rest, so mechanically it doesn't matter, but you might have a skill check in this conversation.
possibly. I think because he was already being a pretentious ass to Alistair, I think he'll just look at Stubble and go, Stubble gets a minus. This is payback for all those horse jokes. Payback for all those horse
So,
jokes.
You look like
Stubble,
an
for the next
ass to
minute,
me.
you have minus 1d6 to all rolls.
And Stubble calls Ovar an ass. You look just like a donkey.
What are your other 3 targets? Because this card demands that you pick 4 targets.
You're all Kanan and
You can choose yourself. That is a target you can pick.
Marcius.
All right. For the
Okay.
next minute, you guys all have plus 1d6 to your rolls.
Quick, everybody,
And
do some flippy
the
shit.
the the card that was purposely shuffled out of the deck lands back on the deck, and the deck shuffles itself.
Yep.
And it seems like calling upon Alistair has drained the deck of all of its magic for the day,
Oh, okay.
as that is not a normal function of the deck.
That's good to know that it's a theoretically, well, not theoretically, it is a possible line to Alistair.
Should he choose to answer.
Yeah, that's why I said possible. Like, it's not a guaranteed line, but it is technically possible for him to answer.
All right. You have now glean more information about what's going on with the church in the capital. Apparently, Alistair's been trying to reveal the fact that the Crow Goddess has been here for months and has been shut down by the capital.
I wonder if the Crow Goddess likes horse meat.
Crow Goddess like stubble meat.
Hey, he was mean to me.
Don't-
Notably,
Crow Goddess does
as
not care who's
Alistair
mean and who's
disappeared, as Alistair disappears, that pain that you were feeling is gone, and you feel the corruption has deepened slightly.
Oh god damn it! I've taken fucking corruption points because somebody else talks to Alistair.
Listen, she fucking hates
Just
Alistair.
Just his presence, she has now.
Notably, it was mechanically just one corruption point, and you need over 100 before I do anything with it.
Prestidigitation. No.
No,
No.
no.
By the way, you weren't the only one that writhed in pain. Saros Takal went fucking catatonic.
Yeah, they're
I
kind
think
of
Sarah's just croaked from that. Like,
As it disappears, you see him catch his breath. I was almost lost.
Noted. Don't use the deck around corrupted people.
I
yes,
felt
we're
as if
Noted
I was
for
burning
future
alive.
reference.
That sounds pretty similar to what Kanan experienced.
Kanan looks up and goes, "Oh, you too?"
You look at him, and his corruption is also spread further. Apparently, getting the Crow Goddess upset is bad when you're infected, because that means they're paying attention to you.
She sees you when
So,
you're sleeping. She
yeah, so
knows
Crow
when
Goddess
you're
knows where we
awake.
are and what we're doing. And is not happy about it.
You feel, you know what? No, insight check or medicine check. Specifically Kanan, and I'm going to roll this for Saros as well. I rolled a nat 1 on Saros. He has no idea.
Nah, this man almost died.
14.
Died of paralysis.
It was a 14, and I'll give it to you because it is such a random roll. You realize that it didn't start reacting immediately. It started reacting when he cast a spell. It wasn't his voice that set her off, it was his magic.
Oh.
Okay, so as long as he doesn't cast a spell near us, we'd be okay. If he casts a spell near us, we die. I die.
So
Saros dies.
That means the deck isn't infused with Alistair's magic.
It is magic on
Not
its own.
necessarily. The deck seems to have its own type of magic that does not come directly from Alistair.
I was gonna say because then technically that means anytime Kanan uses the deck, he's just in
Well, yeah.
immeasurable pain.
Well, the
Well,
last
he
time
also
that he
came
did use
back.
the deck, he was in immeasurable pain.
It's because you drew the death card.
Yeah.
Yeah, that you were, but for a different reason. Or I guess anytime any of us use the deck near Kanan, he's just like, stop fucking using that thing already.
But no. With that information, the party takes their long rest. Finally, after exploring the town. All hit points,
Yay.
all spell slots, everything returns as night begins to fall, and you see a dragon hovering above that then lands down next to you. This is a rather large dragon. And hopping off that dragon is a silver dragonborn. Oh, you ended up in the Yonti village. as Marcius, Arataka, and Stubble recognize the Dragonborn Issa that has been mentioned quite often.
Issa, you made it.
Well, I was informed not to land near the corruption alone, lest we lose the last of our drakes. No offense, Uthrod. Don't call me that. Uthrod Takar.
Hi, Isa. We meet again.
You met?
You! You're that crazy chick that pulled me out of the sky with the weird guy.
It was him. It was Akihito.
Well, guess what? You were there too. I almost died.
Wait,
But
what?
you're
What
alive.
happened? I don't think
Stubble
Marcius
didn't
was-
Sorry,
wanna
I
run.
almost killed you.
Stubble was
Okay.
having too much fun with an Aeon.
Aeon? What's an Aeon?
They've been talking about Aeons the whole time I've been with them. I don't really follow along.
Long story.
As you all seem to recall, the Aeons are myths. They're awakening because of y'all.
They're
Yep.
real.
Yeah.
The way they describe it, they seem god adjacent, but not gods.
Arataka approaches Issa with a lot of authority and just goes, "You need to give the message to Rena to lower the wall. Everyone is dead. The temple is safe." "I will, Chief." As she pulls out a little scroll with a drawing of an icicle on it. A little ice statue appears in her hands. "Rena, am I coming in loud and clear?" An incredibly beautiful woman in the shape of the ice can be seen as she says, "Have they won? They've won. You can let them in." The ice wall that was guarding the entire cave entrance is dropped instantaneously. "I'm glad to see you all made it alive, whoever you are. It's just good to see people that are alive, to be honest." "Marcius, how do you fare?"
I seem to be faring better than most of the rest of the Dragon Bonded.
"Well,
He
of
says
course you are.
that-
You're still breathing."
Yeah.
"I apologize for not assisting in the fight. I was scouting out, and it must have been over by the time I came back around this side of the mountain." Uh,
Everybody else kind of had it under control. I got one little burst of help.
did Arataka show you the power of the dragons? Inspire
Yes.
you to be your best?
Yes.
That I did. She is a wonderful chief. You see, especially Ecclesia, you know a kiss ass when you see one. Also, Kirill, you were raised in a high society environment where everybody talked like that.
Yeah. Man, feels like home.
We should get inside. Reno will be waiting for us. I apologize, there's not much time for introductions. I'm Issa. I am the second in command of the Dragon Bonded.
I am Stubble.
Double.
Yes, my Papa
There was some
Jamie.
venom behind that.
Yeah.
Funny enough, realizing I don't know why it didn't occur to me that Issa was a dragonborn, but that means Issa is a reptilian. And now all my brain can think of is Issa the iguana from Dora the Explorer.
Oh my god.
I have no idea who that is.
Hey, George
Vague
investigated and
memories.
played with toys today. My iguana
I
But,
know
did.
who Dora is. I don't know about the iguana.
Vague memories
Yeah,
of it, but
CC the
I guess
iguana.
Marcius will quickly kind of like nonchalantly introduce everybody else um, as his kind of like he's showing Issa that he trusts them. Like you don't have to worry about them; they're good, they're fine.
Bella, unlike Uthra Dakar, seems much more polite and approaches each of you, introducing themselves as well, although only those that understand Draconic understand it. To the rest of the others, it's just like a very large Drake walked up and went, "Grr."
Kanan
Ovar
understands.
would introduce himself in Draconic back.
Oh, a speaker of the horse tongue. You are probably delicious, but I will not eat you.
Kanan
I
laughs at
appreciate
that.
that.
Uthra Dakar chimes in. I would. Yes, we know you would, Uthra. Behave yourself. You're among your betters.
So far, I take it, Utharatakar, you would eat just about anything.
Uthra's rather pissed at the slight they just received. Being told you are among your betters. Come. The sun will set soon and the temperatures will drop greatly. I'm going to see, and we're going to take a quick pause. I'm going to see if Tailspire will open. All right. And we are back in Tailspire. The server maintenance is done. So the party makes their way into the cave and follows it. It's rather wide. As they follow it in, and they begin to see stone structures, actual buildings, aquamarine towers leading in a pathway. And standing in front of a door large enough for a dragon to enter is a hooded woman in blue. On her arm is a small pseudo dragon made of pure ice.
Aw.
As she lowers her hood and probably the most beautiful woman you've ever seen is standing before you as she approaches the group and says, Champions of Tarnazet, I see you have arrived.
You wait, huh? How do you know?
I am aware of many things. I have been told many things. Just know we are not enemies. I am here to guide you, as I have many others.
What happened to the
I am
others?
Rena. They made their way through the temple just as you were about to.
Okay.
They took the test and passed or failed. What happened to them from there depends on what they did.
A test?
A test, yes.
Stubble's biggest fear.
So we'll hang out with Kanan. Kanan's smart when it comes to that.
Tara just looks up and says, tests of strength, tests of integrity and wit. I don't think I'm going to be much help in this.
Marcius will
Artok
say,
approaches Tara,
Oh.
and Marcius approaches Tara. I'll let you, because your player preference. What do you say?
Marcius will say, you only agreed to help us up the mountain. You didn't agree to help us with a temple. You have helped us as far as you have promised, and we do not expect it anymore. But it is all appreciated in what
Yeah,
you've done for us.
about to say, I've already been to one temple in the last couple weeks. I think I'm templed out. You have helped us greatly. If y'all are ever in the neighborhood again, Titanic Tara will be here to help.
Thank
Just
you,
give me a call.
Tara.
Sarah! I love this character more and more.
I do. I love
As
Tara.
she looks to Rena and goes, "Peace." As she melds with
Digs
Earth and
through the mountain.
disappears.
Yeah, and Peace dips into the ground.
Well, that was eventful.
If you wish to learn more, you will have to enter the temple. I am not here to assist you with the tests themselves. Just observe. As she
Forward's
looks
their
to
only option.
Issa and Arataka. You have already taken the tests. You may wait you may wait in the center area. Well, it's protocol around here, and we can't exactly defy God's will. We'll meet you inside. Uthrod Takar was here when they were born. By technicality, they have also passed the test. Uthrod Takar may go with you.
By technicality.
She approaches the spirit flames, and she looks upon them and slowly says, Na'an, Selkie, Fellas, you are welcome. We will see you within. You have faced many trials, and you deserve to see this through. As even though you guys didn't hear them introduce themselves, this character seems to be able to recognize them.
What if we don't make it through?
Then we screw up the whole story.
If you do not make it through, you will not receive the blessings that will aid you in the trials ahead.
So we must make it through.
Yeah.
I have faith. You are important enough to be delegated champions of Tanazet. You will pass the trials of Orin. As you walk inside and you see draconic statues everywhere.
Oh,
I actually
Stubble
need to pull
smacks her
something up.
head and says, more statues.
And I need to scroll down and pull something up. As you walk deeper in, you see Rena walk off to the side in what seems to be a very practiced motion as she takes a position over here. You walk deeper into the room. It is a straight path. As you get to the door, you see etched in golden placard on the front of the door, justice in the eyes of mortals, folly in the eyes of God, in pursuit of God damn it. Take two. Sorry I'm making you work so hard, Tony. I hit a button
It's
and it
okay.
completely fucking jumped me to another page.
It's okay.
3, 2, 1, and you see the inscription, justice in the eyes of mortals, folly in the eyes of God. In pursuit of ideal, false judgment must be cast aside to see the truth. As you know, have free reign to explore and try to find information. Right now, all you see is the etching on that door.
Does anybody have true sight?
Closest, I think, is Kirill's blind sight, but that only works on magical entities.
Kanan will go over and look at this statue across from where the other character went. So on this side over here.
You look over, that seems to be simple decoration. But if anybody would like to make a perception check for a hint, I'll tell you.
I will do so.
You said perception or
Yes.
No, I don't have my sheet open.
And there's no character I
15.
control here, so I don't need to roll. 15, you notice. Let's see if anybody else does.
17.
You notice.
What are we rolling? Sorry.
Anybody? Perception.
Okay. I'm not seeing it. I got a 5 on the die. It's like a 9.
You are looking really fucking intently at the inscription itself, thinking that's the puzzle.
Listen, it could be.
You're thinking it's a
riddle.
word puzzle. Stubble, do you roll?
Here, I have myself. I mean, I rolled a 22.
With that many rolls, Ecclesia, do you want to roll, or do you think Ecclesia would just not care?
I'll roll. I rolled a 13. What was the roll for?
You all notice it because it was not a high DC. On each throne, there's a golden plaque, much like the one on the door. And you also notice 4 very specific items. You see a book of law. You see an executioner's axe. You see a conscript sword. And you see a judge's wand to declare innocence. Canaan, you approach the first throne, and upon it is an inscription. I defended many in the court of law. Innocent or guilty never mattered. I won, no matter the cost. I did my job. I knew what he had done, but the gold had me look the other way and bury the evidence. He killed the same day he was declared innocent. Don't worry about memorizing these. I'll be posting them in the chat so you can read back over them.
Okay. So
Ecclesia.
Kanan.
Oh.
Okay. I was just gonna say
This
Kanan.
Yeah.
We're gonna go throne by throne so I can read all these.
Yeah, I was just gonna say Kanan was gonna repeat it back to them, and then everybody else could read one and repeat it back.
Everybody, the 4th at notice sit each in front of a throne. The throne in front of Ecclesia reads 12 men. I killed 12 men. I have no regrets about what I've done. They laid their hands upon my daughter. I would never see her again. I may face the hood of judgment, but at least they will never be free to harm others. Beside that is the executioner's axe. Stubble. On the 3rd throne it reads, I see their faces every night. My blade felled so many. I never asked for this. My family couldn't keep food on the table. Being conscripted was the only choice I was given. All I ever wanted to do was help people. And now I'm a killer. That's all I'll ever be. Beside that throne is the conscript's sword. And Ovar. Upon the final throne it reads, I am a woman of lost virtue. I have had my value measured by the coin of dishonest services performed in darkness. My family disowned me, the citizens see me as an object, and the guards have clasped me in chains on many occasions. I feel the world collapse around me daily, and yet the judge shows me mercy. Why does he keep returning me to the streets that hate me? I'm going to post all of this in chat.
Okay. Good. Because
As I said, don't bother to memorize it. Unfortunately, I can't see my mouse pointer, so I'm really doing this blind. All right. It got formatted weird, but I just posted it all in chat. As you see these 4 thrones, each with an inscription on it, each with an item beside it, and you notice the items can be moved.
We're gonna need your brains, Kanan. We figured this kind of stuff out the last puzzle we had.
Ovar's time expired on his intelligence. Damn.
Right?
You've had a
Long
long
rest.
rest.
Ovar, did Ovar tell us about that?
I don't think you did.
Okay.
I just explained the star chart and everything. Or
For
like
some
what
reason,
was
I
written
cannot see my mouse. and I don't know what's going on, but I'm going to have to ignore that for the sake of this.
Are the statues of any significance?
They seem to be just decoration. Seems
I
the puzzle has to do with the thrones.
So
Ca-
they have no significance to the thrones.
Kanan will say that the third one has to either be the executioner's axe or the judge's thing. I know it's to declare innocence, but it would either have to be it would have to
Oh,
be either one of those.
this is just like the prison puzzle, but different stories, different items.
Right.
Yeah, but where the other one says they see their faces every night. My blade felled so many. All I ever want to do is help people. Now I'm a killer. That could be guilt upon the judge for being corrupt. I don't know. Maybe they never
Couldn't it
used the
stand for a
innocence.
warrior?
We're not looking for a warrior. Isn't one of the options here. What was the third item?
I was reading my
Harley?
inscription and I thought maybe the
The-
sword was perfect.
The third item is a conscript sword. That means this person was conscripted into the army,
That's
despite
why I'm
what they
thinking.
wanted.
Oh,
And they
That's
feel
why I'm
immense
thinking
guilt.
that one's
oh,
right.
And
oh!
they
That
feel
one.
guilt from who
Yeah.
they killed in
What was
service.
the
So
first one's
that
a
one.
book? Yeah, I
The
think
first one
mine
was
is
the
the
lawyer who buried evidence and let a killer out who then killed someone.
So the third one probably that conscript sword probably actually goes with that one then.
yeah, that's what I'm thinking. But I forgot what the items were. Does it list it in a
They are a judge. They are a book of law, an executioner's axe, a wand of innocence, and a conscript sword. And you think of the inscription: guilty in the eyes of mortal, folly in the eyes of God. And you
upon a
get to thinking, maybe their fates are not what they should have faced.
Are the second and third right, but the ones on the end are swapped?
You don't know.
the second one, I guarantee he gets the executioner's because I mean, yes, he was defending his daughter, but he still committed the act. So they would
Ooh.
execute him.
It's
No,
not
no,
the
no,
fate
no,
they
no, no.
received. It's what fate they deserve.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that second one's the
Conscript?
the innocence one.
Mhm.
What is it?
Yeah. I agree with Kanan. I'm thinking
Oh,
that just the ends need
okay.
switch.
Give me a second. I need to fix this. I can't fucking navigate this puzzle if I can't see my mouse.
Yep.
It's
Okay.
actually being a real bitch right now. Like you see me maneuvering around. I literally can't see my mouse.
I think
Wait, it
Kanan.
appeared. What the fuck? All I did was alt tab. I didn't do anything.
That
They
Okay.
Or-
So you
and oh, okay.
take the extra axe and you place it on the third chair. That was the first decision that was made. Or no, you take the conscript sword and you place it where the executioner's axe was. And as you place the sword, you feel a divine force compel you to verbalize your reason. You have to explain why you are giving this person the conscript sword.
I didn't think we were moving that sword. We thought it was in the
And
right place. The sword goes with the
With that third throne is what I thought, but now I'm hold on. I have to reread these again because
I'll tell you why. Because it says I see their faces every night. My blade fell on so many. And he was the one that was drafted into the army and didn't want to be into the army, but he
That's
had
what
was
to
the
that the
because he
blade
was
fate he
one
hungry.
was, right?
deserved? Was that the
Right.
fate he deserved? That was what he received in life, but was that the fate he deserved?
Had to feed his family somehow. So he had to take the sword upon his hands. I don't know what he deserved. And I still think the second one deserves the execution. I don't know. I am woman lost virtue.
Oh shit.
If anybody would like to get a hint, you may roll a religion check.
I'm rolling a religion check. I don't know this one in the least bit because I could move them almost to any which one.
I'll roll. I've been rolling pretty good tonight. And I got a 13.
I got an 11 for religion.
19.
Anybody want a flash of genius? No, I'll go with the 19. With the 19, the god Orin is known to supersede mortal justice. As you think back to that inscription and the fact that it said folly in the eyes of God, you begin to believe that he believes every single one of these people received the wrong fate.
Are we able to lie?
So you have the lawyer who let a client go after bearing evidence, and that client immediately killed people. The man who avenged his daughter but killed 12 people. The man who was given no other option but to be conscripted into the army to feed his family. And the woman who believes she's guilty but keeps being declared innocent by the courts.
Okay, here's where I'm having trouble putting any of these items with the reasoning of their fate. Because I don't see how any of these things relate to another person's fate. I just see how these items relate to the person in the story. So now I'm getting more and more confused because I'm just trying to think
Right.
of
The
whose
way we
story
had it
relates to
the
the
first
line.
time, I thought it was right.
Are we to be judge? No.
I was gonna say, I think the puzzle is the items are how they were judged by humans, but I think we have to determine how they would have been judged by Orin.
Yeah, but I don't see that because I don't see how each of the items relate in any
Okay,
way
I'll
to
tell
the
you.
other ones. I think the items are directly the way just in my
that's-
thoughts, all I'm seeing is the item that relates to the person that would have wielded.
Okay, let's switch the two next to the doors and then the two at the ends and see to see what it does. Let's just
You
switch
have
it.
to do them one at a time.
And we have
There's a
to give
reason
an
behind that.
explanation
Oh, that's right. We got to
to
give
why
reason.
What are the
we put
items?
them there.
Sorry. If I need to step away, I will. I've run this puzzle 4 times with 4 different people, and this is the first time it's falling apart.
What are the items again?
Oh,
A book of law next to the lawyer, an executioner's axe next to the man that killed for his daughter, a conscript sword next to the soldier who feels guilt, and the wand of innocence next to the woman of the night who believes she's guilty.
And what are the chairs? Like what is I zoned out what is the
The
puzzle?
chairs are in the chat.
I get that.
The
Is the idea that we move
the
the
lawyer,
items around to the different chairs?
yes, the lawyer that released his client
Mhm.
and after burying evidence, and that client murdered immediately, the man who killed as revenge for his daughter, the soldier who did not want to be a soldier, and the woman of the night.
Oh, hold on.
you said the
Okay,
last
maybe
item
the
was
executioner's
what?
axe goes in the
wand
first
of
one.
guilty? Am I remembering that right?
The wand of innocence. That is a symbol of innocence in this country.
Okay.
Wouldn't that go to the guy that wanted to feed his family?
Don't mind the spelling, but I also put the items in chat. That way you have the thrones and the items right beside each other. See if that
Maybe
helps.
the executioner's axe goes in. Oh, the first or the last one?
Are we
Are we committing to the action of placing the third item upon the throne next to the conscript?
Hold on.
I would agree to that personally.
Yeah.
This is important. Who would place the item?
You got the chair I'm standing in front of.
Kiral could.
Okay.
Who has the stronger conviction that they are sure that that is the right answer?
I think it is
I
That
Kiral would
would-
also
Wouldn't the
because he had to
third one
feed his
be the
family.
wand of Wouldn't the third one be the Wand of Innocence?
That is where they're
No.
placing the third item. That's
Yeah.
next.
I think
Uh,
it's the second one. I think the Wand of Innocence would go to the second.
I think that one might be
Well-
the conscript.
I will say, Stubble, for the sake of it is a decision, I need to move this along. You place the Wand of Innocence upon the third throne, and you feel like divine force compel you to explain why.
Because the man had to feed his family, and he feels guilt over the people he had to kill, but he did it for his family. And he feels like because he killed so many people, he has shame. And I think he's innocent.
You feel your conviction give the wand power, and you see it begin to glow with a divine light as it locks in place.
Yes.
Okay, well that one's right.
All right.
As you are now holding the conscript sword. And I will say you hand it off to Kirill, who may hold it for whoever's confident about where to place it.
I think it should go on the second one.
What?
Yeah.
They're not.
Bound by duty and revenge to kill the people who harmed his family.
Yeah, as you place it, you give that reasoning. He was driven by duty and revenge to save his family. Once again, your conviction gives the blade power. It glows brightly and locks in place.
The Executioner's Axe has to go to the first one.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was their
Grab-
actions that caused that death. So yeah, they are the executioner by their actions.
You grab the Book of Law and place the Executioner's Axe in Canaan. You are compelled to give your reasoning.
Well, they took matters into their own hands in a way they shouldn't have and played dirty and cost someone their life.
Now, who will place the final book upon the Woman of the Night?
Kirill didn't get to place one.
Hero. By the way, the Executioner's Axe also shines and glows. I just skipped over because I figured we got the idea. You place the book and you feel divinely compelled about why it is placed here.
Justice is not based on perceptions of man, it is based on, well, simply your actions. You're not guilty for this. That's simply your lot in life.
All of these podiums accept the new charges as you see silhouettes of 4 people upon them. And the inscription on the door changes. As it now reads, "You have been made judge, but how would you judge yourselves?"
Oh no.
Shit.
Oh no.
As the items do not move and the door does not open. There is the Executioner's Axe, the Conscript Sword, the Wand of Innocence, and the Book of Law.
Maybe the Wand of Innocence goes to the prostitute.
Ovar walks up to the conscript sword.
Ovar, you approach the Conscript Sword, and I didn't think this through because you're a horse, but that's not the Conscript Sword, that's what the Conscript Sword was. You walk over to the Conscript Sword, and you sit down. And you feel you have done something correct.
Kanan will walk up to the Executioner's
Ah,
Axe and sit in that throne.
You approach the Executioner's Axe and sit down.
Double follows
You
To
into
where?
the other chair.
which other?
Which
That
one?
one. The one next to the door.
The Wand of Innocence?
Mm-hmm.
You sit down and you feel If you had just sat randomly without conviction, something bad would have happened.
I was right. These are wrong. These two are wrong.
What?
And there is one chair remaining, the Book of Law, and 3 still standing.
I think
Ecclesia will brush their coat and walk over to the Book of Law and sit.
You walk over to the Book of Law, convinced that you could work your way out of anything. And Kirol, standing by the door, you feel magic wash over it as it says, "No kindness is warranted to the throne of the judge. Choices are made, lives are affected. Never judge others if you are not willing to judge yourself." As the door opens, and you guys have made it into the Temple of Orin.
hey.
Congratulations. Took longer than most. But your deductions were good. And we are going to call it there as it is getting late.
Okay.
To note, I had actual goosebumps.